So yeah, guys, I think we can start now. Um, so give me just one. Let me just admit this guy. So talking about today's masterclass is about scanning, and that's how the more scans you do, it's going to take your game to the next level. Um, so I'm going to ask you guys a few questions first about scanning. Let's see how much you guys know. Why do you guys think scanning is important? So if you raise your hand and then you can speak, so I'll shout your name out and then you can speak. So why is scanning important? Yes, Yaturth. Unmute yourself.
I think scanning is important because if we scan through the field and we notice that there are other players, then we will know that how to pass, who to pass, and how we will make a play which will give us a excellent result, like a goal or like we know that there's a player in that way. If I give him the pass, then there's a higher opportunity of us getting a goal. If we don't scan, we don't know where our player is, then we will most likely give the player away to the another team or we will lose the game.
Exactly. So scanning is going to help with your awareness to know where players are and where your teammates are, where the opposition are. So yeah, great. Asil.
I think scanning is important in football because it helps players gather information about their surroundings on the field.
Correct. Correct.
Yeah.
So so when you say gather information, what kind of information do they gather?
Like their positions of their teammates, opponents, and open spaces.
Great.
It can allow them to make quick decisions and like find passing options and anticipate the next move.
Exactly. Perfect. Thank you very much for that. Emil.
So in addition to that, of course, not only the organization of both the opposition and the team, but of course, in that split second, just focusing on rather if the team, like if your team isn't good structure and you see, for example, the forward players making those runs in behind, then you know that in that split second you can go, for example, for a through pass. So in terms of having that information on the organization as well as taking better information as to whether to speed up the attack, slow it down, and let your team reorganize for the next phase of the attack or the next phase of the play.
Perfect. Great. Fantastic. All answers that we've got, all correct answers. So obviously with scanning, right, guys, not only are you going to give yourself more options on the pitch, you're going to be more aware, okay, of your surrounding. You're going to know whether you can turn or what their best option is at that moment in time. And the timing of your scans, guys, is so important. If you scan too late, then you'll miss out on the opportunity. So having that timing is so crucial, okay? We're going to go through some clips, right? And about Martin Odegaard. There was one game, I think, against Fulham last year that on YouTube, we're going to go watch the clip and see how many times he scans and the options it creates for himself. And then once we've gone through the clip, we'll discuss it, and then after that we'll do some questions and answers, okay? So I'm just going to share my screen so you guys can have a look. Give me 1 second. Can you all see this?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. And is the sound working?
First up is the total number of scans, which for Odegaard in this game was a grand total of
Can you play it for a sec? We can hear.
An insanely high number. Now, over the course of the game, we found that Odegaard had a scan frequency of around 0.5. That means in the 10
It's
seconds
good, but
before
it's a
receiving the
bit.
ball, he scanned an average of 5 times. It's not quite Xavi levels, who used to scan a massive 8.
Is it a bit? Can you hear what he's saying or not really?
Not really.
Not really. Okay, no problem. So I'll go through it with you guys instead then, right? So give me 1 second. So just let it load. Apologies for this. So Xavi was one of the best at scanning, right? He used to scan so many times. So here we see Luka Modric, okay? It's very slow, so it keeps on loading. So Luka Modric, right? I'll take it back a little bit. This is what you call a critical scan. The critical scan is when the ball's moving, you have that final scan, okay? So the critical scan is the most important one because before the ball's moved, that's when you have your scans. You're looking around, you're observing the pitch. But as that ball is moving towards you, that's when you have your final look to know, you know, your best option to make, whether to turn, whether to play it back, or what the best option is after that. So he has his critical scan. And look, that gets him away from Bernardo Silva and he plays a forward pass. And again, here you go, Harvey Elliott. He has that scan. Okay, if I just go back a little bit. That's a scan. He's had that scan quickly. Again, a critical scan. As the ball's moving, a quick glance. If he doesn't have this look right, he won't know whether to turn. So he will probably play backwards, okay? And it's so important, guys. When you scan, you'll be able to play more forward passes, okay? And what does forward passes create? It creates chances for your team, and chances become goals. So scanning is going to help you play more forward passes, more passes which will penetrate the defense, to make sure your team can have more goal scoring opportunities. So he goes and he plays a nice ball in to Keita. Here's another one. You have Messi. He's had another look here. So that look there has given him that option. Okay, so he knows, because with Messi, right, he knows, right, he sees the picture here, but he needs to just have one final look to make sure no one is pressing him. And just from that look, he understands that, I think this is Sterling or Mahrez, it might be Sterling, coming towards him, okay? So he knows, if I do something, he might tackle me. So he sets it off, and then this guy's out the game, and PSG can open up. So it's so crucial, guys. Here, this is Nigel de Jong, okay? So have a look. He's had a scan, and he's in the pockets. So if you're a number 10, if you're an attacking player, and you get into these little pockets in between the defense and the midfielders, you always need to be scanning. Always have to be checking your shoulders to make sure the best decision for you, because at the end of the day, in that position, you're the creator, you're the playmaker, you can score goals as well, so it's really, really important. So here, as you see, De Jong's had a quick look, okay, so he's seen a picture in his head. He knows he's got his front man there, he's got his winger there, and he's got his midfielder here. He's also checking to see the opposition, so he knows that there's a defender here, a midfielder here, sorry, and then he sees the defenders here. So in his head, he's like, okay, so I know where they are. And depending on the pass from Daley Blind, if the pass is strong enough, De Jong will take this on the half turn on his back foot, and he'll turn and he'll drive forwards. But it just depends on the pass of Daley Blind to make the option for what De Jong does next. So the pass is a bit short, but here you see, if I just go back a little bit, second. Don't know why it's very slow today. So in this picture now, right? He set it off. Okay. This midfielder's out the game now. There's a big gap. If he plays his pass into Memphis Depay, he's gonna probably go towards him. Okay, and then that creates space for De Jong just to run in behind. But it depends on this defender. This defender, if he's clever enough, he won't go towards Memphis, and he'll follow De Jong's run, which is what he does. So his little checks like that is what's going to make the biggest difference, guys. Okay, so just checking on your shoulder, scanning the picture, and scanning the game is going to open up more opportunities for you. So here you go now. Odegaard again. As a quick look. Again, another look. All them looks, if you see, the passes he makes after looks are always forward passes. Because he's creating options in his head. He's having that picture before he receives the ball. So it's so important, guys, when you're playing football, having a picture in your head before you receive the ball is going to give you a much better opportunity to drive forwards, to play more forward passes, to create more goal scoring opportunities for your team. Okay, so let's play it again. I'm going to analyze Messi here. Here you go. He's just done 2 critical scans while the ball was moving. He had one look first that side, and he had a second look to his left side to make sure he can turn. So whilst that ball was moving, you saw he made 2 quick checks. One to the right side, one to the left side. This gives him the option now to turn. If he doesn't scan, what he'll probably do, he'll get the ball and he'll play back to one of the centre backs. But because he's scanned, he's able to turn. Again, look, have a look. Second one. So how does it actually improve his game? Okay. Have a look. Iniesta was one of the best at it. Forward passes again. There you go, guys. So what I said before, right, about playing forward passes. Okay. Let's take it back a little bit. So first of all, the more forward passes you do, what I said earlier, more chances, okay, and more goals. And goals wins you games. Have a look here, guys. Turns, forward pass. So Odegaard has a better forward pass completion rate than Bruno and Kevin De Bruyne. And again, it comes to him. He scans so much. So guys, if you can add this into your game, start scanning more, the level of your game is going to increase and you're going to notice the benefits. Again, quick scan, let me turn, forward pass. So when Odegaard didn't scan, so here you see, right, he doesn't scan because the pass that comes into him is so quick, he doesn't have time to scan. And you'll see what happens. He gets pressurized, and he doesn't have a picture now in his head, and he just plays it off and he gives it away. So what we learned from that clip is, when you don't scan, it becomes more difficult, because as you receive the ball, you don't have a picture in your head. Okay, you don't know where the opposition is, you don't know where your teammates are, and you have to take more touches. And when you take more touches, things change in a game in seconds. So the picture of a game will change every second. So him taking more touches gives the opposition time to press, and more likely he will get tackled or he'll give the ball away, because he's lost that picture which wasn't there, a few seconds ago. And again, what I told you about the good timing and the bad timing for checking your shoulders and scanning. Here you go, Declan Rice having a look. He keeps scanning, he keeps looking at the picture. Kevin De Bruyne, this is a great one. If you see this one now, Kevin De Bruyne, if I go back a little bit, as the ball's there, De Bruyne's not even involved. He's nowhere near it. But he's what he's doing now, he's inspecting this part of the pitch, which is where the danger is going to come from. If they want to score, they have to penetrate this area. And he's looking at his positioning, he's looking at the space over here, and he knows Mahrez is here. So he knows if he can get dragged out here, Mahrez is going to be free and is going to be on his own. So what he's doing now, he's scanning the pitch before he receives the ball. And he might not receive the ball, but if he does, he's ready because he's got that picture in his head. So if we just play it now, he's had a look at the ball. Now he goes, makes a run. Ben Mee's dragged out and Mahrez is free, and it's a goal. It's very simple, guys, but as the timing of it has to be perfect. So making sure you're doing the right time, the right scan to the right time is crucial. Because if you're scanning too late, you lose that opportunity as the picture closes out. So here, Odegaard scans when the ball's moving. As you saw there, that one, right? As the ball was moving, he was scanning. When his teammate is touching the ball, he's looking at the ball, okay? Because he knows at any moment in time, he can pass. Ball's moving again, he's having a look. So the timing is so crucial to making sure you don't lose the ball, or making sure you're able to turn. One final scan, the critical scan he does, and he's able to turn and move forwards. Alright guys, so let me just bring that back now. So we're going to go through the clip now, right? And I'm going to ask you guys a few questions. So from what you saw there, right? What was the biggest thing that you saw in them clips from Odegaard? Raise your hand and I will be asking you. Yes, Emmanuel.
I realized the importance of scanning before you receive the ball. Also, when you receive the ball, you get less touches on the ball. So, as opposed to like when you don't scan, then you'd have to take more touches. You have the possibility of losing the football, and then you have to, track back and maybe create a goal scoring opportunity for the opposition. So the importance of scanning is huge and critical, and you see it a lot with a lot of footballers today, like at the professional level.
Definitely. And you saw how many times he was scanning. He was doing so many scans in them clips. Just there wasn't anything major, but it gave him a picture in his head to play more forward passes, which obviously you get more goals after that. Thank you, Emmanuel. Emil.
One thing that I've noticed to be important when it comes to scanning in different times is, firstly, how without the ball, it felt like Odegaard was shoulder checking in order to look at both the team's organization and the opponent's organization to see where the space is, where he could move in order to create that dangerous opportunity. And then when receiving the ball, he's scanning in order to look for a good pass or a forward pass in order to either continue the attack, or when there's no chance, and then to look for a suitable pass to a teammate, either switching on to the other side of the field or passing it backwards in order to start a new attack, for example.
Exactly. Perfect. You're spot on. So it gives him more options to start attacks, to play off one touch, whether he can turn, whether he can drive forward. It gives you more options, guys. Thank you for that. Arinjay?
I think like the example of scanning is that you've got great awareness. Like sometimes in the attack, you're not aware that your players are making a forward run, and you totally kill the advantage. Like Martin Odegaard, he knew where his players were, and he didn't kill the advantage. He got the ball. He played it in first touch or second touch, and the attack mostly led to a goal.
Exactly. Perfect. Thank you for that, mate. Say or Sai.
Yeah, I think that scanning is really important. Like it can help us to like play those passes forward for us attackers to score goals and to be aware in the situation what to do. I
Perfect.
think it is really vital.
Definitely. If you add this to your game, guys, scan into your game, you'll see the benefits, and your level of a performance will go from here to here. You'll see the difference because when you receive the ball, before you receive the ball, you know what you're gonna do. So yeah, thank you for that. Rupal.
Scanning helps to give the detailed information about opponents and our teammates and help in goal scoring opportunities.
Definitely. Thank you, Rupal. Asil.
Yeah, in one of the clips we saw, instead of Odegaard immediately passing it, he quickly scanned the field, which then he assessed the possessions of his teammates, and he noticed a teammate making a run into space and then played a perfectly timed through ball, which created a scoring opportunity.
Exactly. So if he didn't have that scan, he wouldn't be able to turn and play that through ball. So that scan gave him that picture. Okay, there's no one pressing me from behind. I can turn and I can play a good through ball to my striker. So yeah, perfect. Alexandre.
What is something you wish you knew about scanning when you started, like
When
football and
when
everything?
what's something that I wish I knew about scanning when I started?
Yeah.
Something with scanning I wish I knew was what it does for you is it gives you more options. Okay, so with scanning, what I realized, when you don't scan, you take, for example, in a game situation, if I don't scan, if I don't check my shoulders, first of all, I don't know where my teammates are. Okay, when I receive the ball, I take more touches because I don't know the picture. I don't know where the opposition are, so I can take a touch, and that touch can take me towards a defender rather than away from the defender. Okay, so whereas if I scanned beforehand and I said to myself, the defender is behind me or the midfielder's on my left, so if I take my touch to my right, it just creates more opportunities for me to go forwards, to create more chances, to penetrate the defence. Whereas if you don't scan, what happens is you might receive the ball and you might quickly play it backwards because you panic and you're like, oh, I don't want to lose the ball, and you play the safe option. So what scanning does, gives you more options. It expands your game knowledge. Okay, so you'll see more pictures in your head, and the more you do it, guys, the easier it will become. Okay, it might seem in training, for example, you can do this in training. Just keep looking over your shoulders, make it a habit. Play a pass, have a look over your shoulder, see where your teammates are, and then once you keep doing it, it becomes second nature. And then you go into a game situation and you keep looking over your shoulder and you keep looking and scanning the pitch. So it's minor details, but it will make the biggest improvement into your game. Did that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah,
Okay,
that makes sense.
perfect. No problem. So yeah, guys. Now we'll do 5 minutes of just any questions you guys have, and then we'll end the call. So any questions you have regarding football, anything you want to ask me, feel free. Just raise your hand and I'll call your name out. Yes, Rupal.
What are the exercises to improve scanning?
So the exercises to improve scanning, as I said, when you're training, just make it a habit. There's no particular exercise you can do to improve scanning. It's just whatever you do in training, okay? When you're on the ball, when you're doing technical drills, keep looking over your shoulder, keep scanning the pitch. And then if you're playing in a team, take it into a game situation, because nothing is going to help your game than when you do it in a match in a match situation. So if you're going to an 11-a-side game, that's when you're going to improve the most. So start by doing it in training, by little drills in training, and then take it into a match situation, and then it'll get easier as time goes on. Yes, Sai.
For example, you want to get better at dribbling while scanning. Like, what are you supposed to do? For example, there's some space that I can dribble into, but I don't know when to scan or what. So, what is the advice you want to give?
So you don't know when to scan, right? So if you saw from the clips I showed you of Odegaard, the critical scan is whilst the ball is moving towards you. So you scan before that. So whilst your teammate has the ball and the ball's not moving towards you, keep scanning the pitch, keep looking over your shoulder, keep knowing what's around you. As that ball is coming towards you, you have the final scan to make sure no one is around you so you can turn. So the timing of your scan is very important, okay? So try it in training, okay? It might feel a bit weird at times, or you might not be used to it, but the more you do it, the more you'll get better at it. Yes, Rosgar.
How many times did Iniesta and Xavi scan a game?
So many times. I think it was over 1,000 times a game. So if I have to double check, but it was 100% over £1,000 over 1,000 times a game they would scan. So if you calculate that, that's every second they're scanning, okay, and they're having a look over the shoulder, just making sure, especially in that position there, in the centre midfield position, that's where it's the most compact. So you have to always make sure you're looking over your shoulder. Who's next on the list? Give me 1 second. Yes, Emil.
When talking about making scanning as part of your habit or as part of your second nature, does that necessarily mean, for example, in your training drills regarding either passing, dribbling, shooting, or anything in general during specific football practices? Does that mean, for example, having that quick scan after every single touch, or after taking a look, for example, when shooting at the positioning of the goalkeeper to know where to shoot, or when having that extra scan, knowing who to pass the ball towards in order to have better opportunities? So in general, just having that quick scan after every touch, regardless of the situation.
Exactly. So you could be doing technical drills, for example, a passing drill, but before you pass it, have a look over your shoulder, then pass it. Just you could be doing shooting drills, and before you receive the ball, you look over your shoulder, and then you turn and you shoot. Or again, an example you gave, when you're one-on-one with the keeper, having a look, scanning the goalkeeper's positioning. It's all part and parcel of scanning, okay? And it gives you a better opportunity of doing something to help your team, to create more chances, to score more goals, and to hopefully help you guys win the game. So scanning, becoming a second nature, becoming something that you do all the time, is just going to improve you and help your game. Yes, Tor.
When did you start working with Train Effective?
I always with Train Effective. I've been here for now 2.5 years. 2.5 years I've been with Train Effective. I play professional football myself around Europe. I used to play for Watford Academy. So the journey you guys are trying to go on, I've been through it. I still play myself now in the UK, one of the semi-professional divisions. So I'm always at the camps. I work with the strikers, the attacking players, as I'm a striker myself. So at the camps, you'll see me there. We do some finishing drills, we do some movement, just little things like that. So if you guys are interested in joining our camps, then message us on Instagram. Just say book camp, and then someone will reach out to you and we'll give you all the information. Rupal. Okay, Josh. Oh, sorry, Asil.
As a striker, who would you recommend me to watch for like scanning and stuff like that?
As a striker, I would for me, I think one person who's really good is Harry Kane. Harry Kane is a good striker to watch. If you have a look, he's always scanning. He's always having a look at where the defenders are, when to come short, when to go long. When you go one on one with the keeper, he's looking to make sure where's the best, where should I slot it, where's the keeper's positioning. So have a look at some Harry Kane clips, and hopefully you can take a little bit out of that.
Yeah, thank you.
No problem. Yes, Joshua.
Yeah, it's almost like the last question. Like, as a centre back, like you don't really. I don't know if you scan that as often as midfielders. So I'm just wondering, when do you have to do our scanning as well?
So as a centre back, your scanning is more everything's in front of you, right? So you're looking at the pitch in a bigger picture. So you can see the pitch better than, for example, the striker, because you can see, you have the whole view of it. So for you, it's more like organising the midfield, organising the back four. So you, as a defender, you have to be a leader. So for example, you might see one of a midfielder in their team, he's free. That's when you shout at one of your midfielders, shuffle over. There's a free man, go mark him. Or it's just small communication is gonna take your game from here to here. Because as a defender, if you're quiet, if you're not communicating with your team, it's very difficult for you to go to that next level. Defenders have to be loud. You have to be be a communicator, be a leader, organized. Organize your team, because you can see everything. So for you, it's more just scanning the pitch and seeing a picture. And if you see danger, you speak into your team to solve that danger as soon as possible. Who's next? Rupal.
In training sessions, I do scanning, but in the realistic match situations, because of pressure, I forgot to scan. So, what advice can you give?
Say that again. Sorry, your voice cut off.
Can you hear my voice?
Yeah, I can hear you. Say that again.
Yeah, in the trainings, I do scannings, but in the realistic match situations, I forgot to scan because of the pressure of the match. So, what advice can you give?
First of all, why do you feel pressure?
Because I have not played many matches, only little,
Okay, so
and I am feared that I will do wrong or what.
that's the worst thing you can think. If you guys are playing football and you're scared to do a mistake, you're playing in the wrong sport. You should never be afraid to make a mistake in football. Mistakes are part and parcel of the game. That's how you learn. That's how you get better. If you never made a mistake, you will be playing for Real Madrid and you'll be at the top. But even them, they make mistakes. Okay? No, there's no player on this planet Earth that does not make mistakes. Ronaldo makes mistakes. Messi makes mistakes. So they all make mistakes. So what you have to do first and foremost is change your mindset. Okay? So your mindset has to be, it doesn't matter if I make a mistake. The next one, I'm going to do better. I'm going to learn from it. I've missed penalties in my career. I've made mistakes. I've given the ball away. If I think, because I've missed a chance, I don't want to get in another goal scoring position because I'm scared to miss again. It's a wrong mentality to have. So you need to first change your mindset. Don't be afraid to make mistakes. That's how you learn. That's how you get better. When you go into a game situation, always remember, pressure is a privilege. If you feel pressure, it's good. It means, you can take on some responsibility, but don't feel pressure where you feel nervous and the nerves are controlling you. You have to control the nerves all the time. So it's really important that if you switch your mindset, so your next training session, go and do what you've been doing, and then when you go into the game situation, just be calm. Be calm. Enjoy the game. Don't think about it too much, and then see if you can find a switch. Maybe you should maybe listen to music before the game. Maybe that will calm you down. Maybe start visualizing yourself doing well in the game. So if you guys start picturing yourself, if you're a striker, picture yourself scoring goals. If you're a defender, picture yourself having good tackles, winning your headers, maybe even coming up for a corner and scoring. If you're a midfielder, picture yourself assisting, making good passes, tackling, being in the right positions. Picture good things, and then when you come into a game situation, it will be a lot easier for you. So try those tips and see if it works. Yes, Sai.
For example, I'm actually a winger. I play on the sidelines. So like, how can scanning help me? Should it be my top priority over dribbling, shooting, and all other parts of my game? And how can it actually help me in those type of
So how
things?
scanning will help you as a winger? Scanning is important in any position, okay? But how is going to help you as a winger? So the main thing for you is to be direct, to be a winger, to create chances for your team, to take on your man, deliver crosses, and to try and score goals, okay? So you're up against a defender, a fullback. So with the fullback, sometimes they'll be tight on you the whole game. So this is where you need to scan the pitch to know where's the space. Where can I exploit the space to punish him? Because some fullbacks will come tight to you. So then you need to realize there's space in behind. And that's where, if you scan the pitch, you will see that. So that's where you make a run in behind. Sometimes the defender might not come tight to you and he might give you a gap. So he might allow you to get the ball. Again, that comes from scanning, knowing where the defender is. So having a look all the time will give you a better picture of where the defender is, but also where your teammates are. So if your teammates made a good run, okay, you've seen that run, and you're able to play him in. If you haven't scanned and you're not looking at the bigger picture and you're playing with your head down, you won't be able to see anything. So the main thing is play with your head up, scan, and then it's going to open up more opportunities for yourself.
Thank you.
No worries. Alexandre?
Yes. For an attacking player, what should I look for? What should I scan for? Watch out for? The defenders, goalkeeper position, like that.
What do you mean?
What should I look for? Like, if I try to scan, if I turn my head, what should I look for? The position of the defender, the position of the goalkeeper, or maybe my teammates.
Yeah. So what position do you play?
Striker, attacker in general.
Okay, cool. So let's say you're like a number 9. You're a striker. So you're usually up against 2 centre backs. Okay. So what you do first and foremost is you win your individual battles against the 2 centre backs. What you're looking at when you're scanning is, again, similar as to wingers, how high is their line? Is there space in behind? Can I make runs in behind? You're scanning to see what is the best option to do. If they're sitting off deep, you're scanning to realize where is the space. If they're not, if you're dropping in deep to receive the ball, are they following you? Because you're looking, are they following me? No, they're not following me. So can I turn? Yes, I can turn. So it's little details like that, because if you just stand next to the defender, you're easy to mark. So you have to move, right? So when you move, you become harder to mark. It's more difficult for defenders to mark you, to go after you, and then also that stretches the game more because you will drag people out of position. So for you, the main thing is having a look to see where the defenders are. If you can drop in short to pick it up and turn, if you can run in behind, and then looking at where your teammates are as well, because you might have a look and you realize, oh, my teammate's in a better position than me, so if I receive this ball, I'll play it to him straight away. And that comes from the picture in your head. Does that make sense?
Oh yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. All right.
But just before, and the goalkeeper, how do I know, for example, why to shoot left? Should I see if he is on the right side or on the left side?
Yeah.
You know what?
So first of all, you have to be composed when you're in front of goal. If you're panicking in front of goal, you will miss. So be composed. Sometimes you won't realize, but you'll have more time than you think. Okay, because in the box, defenders don't want to tackle you because they're scared to make a foul and then give away a penalty. So having a look at a keeper's position, always you can have a quick look, and you might feel like the keeper's more on his right side. I can slot it to my left, or you might look at the keeper and see, oh wow, he's playing really high. Maybe I can lob him. So it's little details like that. So having a quick look will help you make the best decision. And obviously, as a striker, you need to make sure when you're shooting, you're giving yourself the best chance to score. So if you keep shooting at where the keeper is, down the middle, you're never going to score. So it's always hitting the corners, but picking the best corner on where you feel like the keeper is harder to reach. And one thing I'd say, as a striker, any player, low and hard in the corners is the most difficult for any keeper to save. So if you're an attacking player, yeah, the ones when you hit top corner, they look beautiful, right? Of course they do, but they're harder to do. But the ones low and hard in the corners, very difficult for keepers to save, and it gives you more of a chance to score.
Thank you.
No worries, Alexandre. I think that's it for now, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this masterclass. Hope you learned something from it, and hopefully we'll do another one very soon. Any questions you guys have, anything you guys need, just DM us on Instagram. If you're interested in joining our camp, DM us book camp on Instagram, and someone will reach out to you. Have a good evening, guys. Take care.
Thanks, Sam. Appreciate it.
No
Take
worries.
care.
All the best.